Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings boys game. And now, Viking pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN TV studios. Rick Olson here, and we're getting ready to bring you tonight's boys non-conference game as the 4-5 Colfax Vikings are looking to put together a 3-game winning streak following their 58-42 victory over the Boyceville Bulldogs last Friday. Meanwhile, the 1-8 Eleva Strum Cardinals would like to make another mark in the winning column following their 45-36 loss to the Alma Pepin Rivermen. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Eleva Strum Cardinals and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Noel's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school boys basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV and Viking TV.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's boys basketball game between the Eleva Strum Cardinals and the Colfax Vikings. The Vikings are looking to continue or go into a 3-game winning streak following their 58-42 win over the Boyceville Bulldogs last Friday. In that victory over Boyceville, the Vikings were led in scoring by 5'8" sophomore Elijah Ensminger, who hit on 5 field goals and 3 free throws for 13 points. He was followed by Nathan Hajdukovic, who drained 4 field goals and a free throw for 9 points. Bryce Sikora and Tristan Lenz each contributed 8 points. Thus far in the season, the Vikings are led in scoring by Hajdukovic, who, since he's returned to the lineup, is averaging nearly 14 points per game. Following Hajdukovic is Ensminger, who's adding over 11 points per game. And Jack Charlo is contributing over 9. Now, the Cardinals are coming off a 45-36 loss to the Alma Pepin Rivermen last Friday. Unfortunately, we don't have any scoring figures from that game. However, going into that game, thus far on the season, the Cardinals are led by Dalton Krupka, who's averaging 10 points per game. He's followed by Nathan Bemis, who's putting up 9 points per game, along with Carter Gunderson and Brady Monson, who are adding another 8 points per game each. On the boards, Eleva Strum is led by Krupka, who's pulling down nearly 11 boards per game. Sawyer Dietz is also an effective rebounder for the Cardinals, grabbing nearly 9 rebounds per game. The Vikings would like to extend their winning streak to 3 games, while the Cardinals are looking to turn around what has been up to this point a disappointing season. Currently, the Vikings are averaging 54 points per game while giving up an average of 62. The Cardinals are scoring an average of 39 points per game while giving up 61. Coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Mark Noel on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV by calling 715-563-1749.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again, we're talking with Viking boys head coach Mark Knoll. And Coach, last Friday, the Vikings started a winning streak by defeating the Boyceville Bulldogs for their second win in a row. What can you tell us about that game?
Yeah, I mean, I thought, first of all, I give some credit to Boyceville. I thought they played really hard. They came out and threw a defense at us that we haven't seen this year, and took us a little bit of time to get adjusted to that. With that said, we took the lead right before halftime. And I think in the second half, then you saw us kind of take over the game when it came to our intensity level and how hard we can play and the pace that we want to play at. And we amped up our energy level, and I think that really helped just get us going a lot.
Now, one of the things that Dan and I noticed in that game was how physical that game was, yet the Vikings showed no signs of backing down. Your comments about that?
It's something that we've been talking about. I've got a little saying that I write on the board before the game. I write that we want to compete with physicality. You know, we got to be able to compete with that physicality. It's so important that you play through bumps, you play through all the pushing and stuff that goes on. And some players, if they have the ball, when they get bumped, they'll pick it up. And you have to be able to the good players can play through that stuff. It doesn't affect them. Tonight, Eleva Strum is going to be also a very physical team, kind of like how Boyceville was, where they're just going to be. It's going to be, when I watched their game versus Mondovi, they out-rebounded Mondovi, I would say, and they hit the offensive glass really hard.
In fact, one of the things I noticed in looking up information on the Eleva Strum Cardinals, they have one player who's averaging 11 rebounds a game and another guy who's getting 9 rebounds a game. You said before the last game that anybody who gets 9 draws your attention. Well, they've got 11 and 9. What's that telling you about the inside game?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I saw them do against Mondovi, is that they just hit the offensive glass like nobody's business. And I think we're hoping that we can create those overs before they get their shot attempts, because when they're getting shot attempts, that's where they kind of score, is off those offensive rebounds. So we want to keep them off the glass. Now,
today's game gives the Vikings the opportunity to build a 3-game winning streak before a really tough latter half of this week. How important is it for the Vikings to go on a roll going into the games with Spring Valley and Somerset coming up later on?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a big week again. We had 3 big games last week, 3 games this week. That's a tough thing to do, physically and mentally. But I think our kids are really ready for it. They know that if we can win tonight, that pulls our record to 5-5, and that's a goal of theirs. They want to get to that goal. And then when Spring Valley comes, we'll readjust our goals and we'll readjust what we're trying to accomplish at that time. But tonight, obviously, we're most concerned about Eleva Strum. And I think that if we can play our defense the way that I know that we're capable of, that's gonna help us, and that's allowing us to be very aggressive. And I'm a big believer in the aggressive team wins.
Okay. Well, Coach Knoll, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings can keep rolling, get to that 3-game winning streak.
Thanks, Rick. I appreciate it. And go Vikings.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
You.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The Vikings are looking to build on their win last Friday and stretch their winning streak to 3 games. At the same time, the Cardinals are looking to find their way back into the winning column. So the stage is set for some exciting boys high school basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. Now, in just a moment, we'll send it over to Colfax High School, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's non-conference boys game between the Colfax Vikings and the Eleva Strum Cardinals. All that coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN TV, and Viking TV.
Touchdown! Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored?
Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs.
I can't believe I missed that.
Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone.
What? I should take your phone away.
No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
I'm gonna need that back.
No.
Kevin!
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings boys game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Light Colfax Viking basketball. It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Colfax Viking basketball is on the air.
Lenz with the rebound puts it up and in. Christian Lenz gets the putback shot.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV proudly presents tonight's Colfax Viking boys varsity basketball game.
And it's no good. Rebound taken down and put up and in. Ryan Albright with the rebound.
Join us as we head out to the gym for tonight's Viking basketball.
Inside, gets it off to Hoffman. Hoffman feeds underneath, the shot goes up and in by Nathan Hajdukovic.
Yeah, good cut there by Nate.
Good evening, welcome to Colfax High School. Rick Olson here, along with Jeff Gust on our camera. And he gives me a dirty look, and like I didn't warn him that we were going to go on the air here. And there we go.
He was just sitting there enjoying the game.
And Dan Petchow right next to me as we bring you the Colfax Vikings boys against the Eleva Strum Cardinals. And Vikings are 5-4 coming into this game, 2-2 in the Dun St. Croix Conference. And Eleva Strum is 1-8. I'm not sure what their conference record is. I think we looked up the other day and they're in the Dairyland. Is that what you said?
Yep, Dairyland Conference.
And I did not check that. I can probably find it real quick for you. Dan, what do you see there about? In fact, why don't you give us the starting lineups for tonight's game?
Yeah, here's the starters for Eleva Strum. They're going to go with sophomore 6'1", number 10, Carter Gunderson. 5'10", senior, number 12, Dominic Marco. 6'3", senior, number 22, Caden Lasher. 6'2", senior, number 32, Brady Munson. And 6'5", senior, number 40, Sawyer Dietz. For the Colfax Vikings, they're going to go with 6'2", senior, number 2, Nate Hajdukovic. 5'10", senior, number 4, Bryce Sikora. 5'8", sophomore, number 10, Elijah Ensminger. 6'3", junior, number 23, Jack Charlo. And 6'1", senior, number 24, Ryan Albrecht.
Okay, and during my quick scan here to find out Eleva Strum's record in the large Dairyland Conference. They are 0-4. Vikings trying to get that 3-game winning streak locked up. They'd sure like to do that because they have a tough schedule coming up the latter half of this week. And it'd be nice to be on a bit of a roll going into that, as we talked with Coach Knoll about during Coach's Corner.
Yeah, you know, Coach Knoll has them playing very well right now. They got their plays figured out.
And they've gotten a little more aggressive.
Yep, a little more on the baseline, taking care of the ball on defense. And, you know, they did a great job last game on the press. Got a bunch of turnovers. Got ball down the court in transition. And
it's just that the one thing that'll drive you up a tree, it's happened in the last 2 games, they fall behind by double digits and then have to scrap their way back, take the lead at the end of the first half, and then take command in the second half. It'll drive you right up a tree. But
especially for a coach.
Yeah, and as long as they're winning, that's okay. So, we've got a couple minutes before the start of this game, so let's take a brief time out. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered it. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
When it comes to your finances, security is just so important. Dairy State Bank's online banking and mobile app offers dozens of new and enhanced real-time alerts. Whether an ATM withdrawal is made or a login to your account failed, you'll instantly know. So now, the technology that makes it easier to manage your money is also making it safer. Visit dairystatebank.com or call to learn more. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings. And we're back here at Colfax High School getting ready for the playing of our national anthem. And that's our national anthem. And we're going to send it right back down to the scorer's table for the starting lineups in today's game.
Welcome to Colfax High School. Tonight's non-conference boys basketball matchup between the Eleva Strum Cardinals and your Colfax Vikings. Introducing the starters for the Cardinals. Number 10, the sophomore, Carter Gunderson. Number 12, the senior, Marco. Number 22, the senior, Caden Lasher. Number 32, senior, Grady Johnson. And number 40, senior, Sawyer Leeds. The Cardinals are led by head coach Paul Jansen. And now the starting lineup for your Colfax Vikings.
And that's the starting lineups for tonight's game. Again, for the Eleva Strum Cardinals, it's Gunderson, Marco, Lasher, Monson, Dietz. Stepping into the center circle for the Cardinals is Dietz. For the Vikings, it's Hajdukovic, Sikora, Ensminger, Charlo, and Albright. And it's Hajdukovic in the center circle for the Vikings. Official checking to make sure the clocks are ready. Steps into the circle. Ball goes up. Tip controlled by the Vikings. They get it over on the left side to Sikora. Feeds it into the lane to Hajdukovic underneath to Charlo. Lays it up and in. And the Vikings are on top, 2-0. Cardinals bring it down the floor. Lasher with it. And they get it, the ball gets intercepted and batted around, and before it goes out of bounds, it's grabbed by Monson, who then slid out of bounds with it, so it'll be Viking ball. Sikora passes across the timeline, then they get it over on the right side to Albright, back out to Sikora over to the left side, to Ensminger, back out to Sikora. Then back to Ensminger on the left. Back out high to Sikora. Over to the right side to Albright. Cross court pass to Ensminger. Down underneath to Charlo. Over into the right corner to Albright. At the elbow now to Hajdukovic. Back to Sikora. Out to Albright. He drives on the right side. Puts it up and in. Ryan Albright with the 2.
Yeah, good patience. Good patience by Colfax.
And the Vikings steal the ball. Ensminger takes it to the hole and puts it in. And the Vikings out to a quick 6-0 lead. Pass comes out to Gunderson. He loses it off a foot. Sikora thought it went off of Gunderson's foot. But the Cardinals have it. Marco with it. Between the circles, gets it over onto the left side to Monson. Out to Gunderson. He's high, wide, and left.
It's like Colfax is going to play a little zone right now.
Down underneath to Dietz. They tip it around and lose control. Vikings have it. Long pass to Ensminger. He's on the fly. He lays it up and in. 8-0 Vikings on top. Marco with it. He gets bottled up in the backcourt, and we get a timeout called by the Eleva Strum Cardinals. Vikings 8, Cardinals nothing. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN TV, and Viking TV.
On those days when you're hankering for something that's delicious and nutritious, simply stop by FitFam Nutrition in Colfax. They serve Herbalife meal replacement shakes, metabolism boosting teas, and protein coffees. They taste as good as they sound, and they're healthy. Come and visit the Bentons and let them prepare for you a simply sweet treat, or something for the chocoholic or coffee lover in you. FitFam is a slam dunk. That's FitFam Nutrition, complete with one-on-one wellness coaching and business opportunities. 1020 University Avenue in Colfax.
Back here at Colfax High School, Rick Olson, Dan Petchow, Jeff Gust, Bringing you the action of tonight's game where the Vikings have an 8-0 lead and Spring Valley has the ball. Taking it down the left baseline, his shot gets blocked. Carter Gunderson got blocked. And down the floor come the Vikings. Hajdukovic with it at the top of the key. Takes it to the left elbow, feeds it out to Albright. Albright over to Sikora, then back out to Hajdukovic to Ensminger. Back out to Hajdukovic, drives into the lane, puts it up and in. 10-0, Vikings on top. Lasher with it. They're still in the backcourt. Marco on the dribble, gets double teamed. Vikings put the press on, steal the ball. Ensminger has it, feeds it out. Wanted to get it to Sikora, but it was tipped out of bounds. It'll still be Viking ball. Vikings not even letting him get across the timeline, Dan.
Yeah, Eleva Strum's having a lot of trouble.
That press has got them all bottled up.
Which we saw last game, too.
Albright into Sikora, back to Albright, back to Sikora, to Ensminger on the left side. Drives into the lane, feeds it out to Albright, 3 on the way. He hit it! Albright with the three-pointer, 13-0, Vikings on top. Lasher gets it up to Gunderson in the forecourt. Monson with it, over to Gunderson. His shot is no good. Rebound.
We got a foul.
Yeah, we had a foul on a shot. Or no, it's on the floor. Foul's on Hajdukovic, I believe. First personal, first team. So the Cardinals inbound it to Monson. Over into the right corner to Lasher. Lasher back to Monson at the elbow. Then he get it down to Gunderson in the left corner. Back out high to Monson. Back to Gunderson. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound taken down by Charlo. Ball grabbed by Albright. To Ensminger, out to Sikora. Into the lane, ball gets tapped away and out of bounds. It was tapped by Gunderson, who chased it halfway up into the bleachers. Just wanted to say hi to somebody up there, I guess. Vikings have it, Albright on the left side. Cross court pass to Ensminger on the right. Tries the right baseline, tries to put up partially blocked. And Spring Valley, or it's not Spring Valley, Eleva Strum comes away with it. Monson has it on the left. Feeds it underneath to Dietz. Tries to put it up. He got fouled going up, and I think it's going to be a foul on Albright. I'll take that back.
Oh.
It's a foul on Hajdukovic. That's
Well,
his second personal. Second team foul.
That makes the first half interesting. Nate gets in foul trouble.
First shot is on the way, and finally a point on the board for Eleva Strum. Sawyer Dietz at the line, 6'4", senior. Irwin into the lineup for the Vikings. Second shot is off the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Sikora with it, comes down the right side, puts it up. No, it doesn't go. Rebound taken down by Albright, out to Irwin. Tries to feed it down low. Ball gets intercepted by Dietz. And down the floor come the Cardinals. Bemis on the dribble. Loses control of it. That is picked up by Gunderson. Over to Lasher on the right. Back over to Gunderson. He caught it but saved it in bounds right to the Vikings. They feed it to Ensminger and it goes in. 15-1, the Vikings are on top.
Ensminger has 6.
Lasher with it, gets it over to Bemis in the backcourt. He brings it across the timeline, and we have a whistle. And it's going to be a foul on Irwin for the Vikings. Kyle Irwin, the 5'10 junior. Lenz into the lineup. Irwin takes a seat. And the Cardinals inbound it. Gunderson has it. They feed it over to Sterry. Then over to Bemis. The three-pointer's no good. Sterry with the rebound. They get it to Gunderson. Tries to put up the shot, but he lost the handle and loses it out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. Vikings bring it down the floor. Sikora with it, feeds it over to the left side to Ensminger, back to Sikora. To Albright on the right, back to Sikora between the circles. Takes it to the right side of the lane, gets it to Lenz. Lenz drives the right baseline, lays it up and in. Tristan Lenz with two. 17-1 Vikings on top. Dietz with it, feeds the cross-court pass to Gunderson on the left side. Now back over to the right side to Bemis, tries to feed it into the lane. Dietz picks it up, tries to dribble out of trouble, gets it to Lasher on the right. Cross-court pass over to Gunderson, three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound, battled for, we have a whistle, and evidently out of bounds going over to the Vikings.
More tough defense by Colfax tonight.
Monson back into the lineup for Eleva Strum as Dietz takes a seat. Albright with it on the right side for the Vikings. To Sikora, to Ensminger on the left. Back to Sikora, back to Ensminger. Thought about the three. Gets it back out to Sikora. Over to Albright. To the elbow to Charlo, who tries to go up. Shot was blocked. And into the hands of Monson. Gets it over to Gunderson. He's on the left side. Feeds it to Bemis. Into the lane. Shot goes up and in by Monson. Monson from the middle of the paint put it up and in. Ensminger has it on the right side. Out to Sikora. Over to Albright. He's on the right. Ensminger's on the left. Ensminger tries the left baseline. Tries to feed it and right into the hands of Eleva Strum. 17-3. Vikings on top. Pass is a little bit out of control. It's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to be Eleva Strum ball.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it wasn't an over and back until the guy touches it. He didn't touch it. The Vikings came through and touched it, and it went out of bounds. So it's out of bounds off the Vikings.
Nick Jensen in for Colfax.
Bemis on the dribble, right through the center circle. Feeds it to the free throw line, now over to the left side. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound chased down by Eleva Strum. They've got it over on the right side, Lasher with it. Now they get it over to Gunderson, three-pointer off the iron, no good. Lenz with the rebound for the Vikings. To Albright, long pass to Ensminger, gets it to Jensen. Tries to go through the traffic but got fouled. It's a foul on the floor, I think. I don't think they're going to say he was in shooting motion. In the NBA, maybe, but not here. That's a foul on Sterry. First personal. That's the first team foul on Eleva Strum. Ensminger out to Sikora to Albright. Cross-court pass over to Ensminger on the left side. Into the paint, puts the shot up, rolls around and off.
Probably got a foul on Lenz.
I think Lenz is over the back.
Yep.
Yes, that's who they're calling it on.
His first
personal on Lenz. Fourth team foul on the Vikings. Bemis feeds it over to Monson, drives it down to the lane, feeds it off to Sterry, tries the shot, no good. Monson with the rebound. Feeds it out, intercepted by Ensminger. He's got a solo flight, but they got caught from behind and blocked. Nice block shot by Gunderson. Long pass down the floor, stolen by Sikora. Sikora quickly back down across the base, or across the timeline. Feeds it to Lenz in the paint, lays it up and in. A little end-to-end action there.
Lenz has 4 points.
Down the floor comes Bemis, puts the shot up. We got a foul.
I think it's on Lenz.
I believe you're right. Second personal on him. 5th foul on the Vikings. Bemis at the line for 2. Shots on the way. It's good. Austin Swanson into the game for the Vikings. Second shot on the way. It's good. Vikings come down the floor, Albright with it. Cross-court pass to Ensminger. Fakes the 3, feeds it off to Jensen. No good with Jensen's shot, but it goes right into the hands of Swanson, who goes up with it, and he got fouled.
Yeah, it's going to be an assist for Nick. Jensen came up a little short, but it went right to Swanson.
Yeah. What shot? That was a pass. I could hear Nick telling us that right now. Swanson with the shot is up and no good. And we just lost the score, but it came back. The mice must be chewing on the cords again. Swanson's second shot is on the way. It's no good. Did not hit any metal up there, so that's basically a lane violation. So Eleva Strum has the ball. They inbound it. This is Dunham with it. Gets it over to Lasher. He gets it into the forecourt, but it's a little bit long. Ball gets saved in to Marco. Pass goes over to Dunham. Down into the right corner to Dietz. Dietz trying to find a way through there, and we're going to get a whistle. And evidently there was a foul down there. And the foul's on Monson. It's his second, third team foul against Eleva Strum. 8:56 to go in the first half. Vikings up 19-5. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound. Brought down by Eleva Strum. Marco loses the dribble. They feed it down the floor to Ensminger, and he lays it up and in. 21-5, Vikings on top.
Ensminger's got 8.
And an errant pass, but picked up by Eleva Strum. Into the lane is Monson, and he lays it in. 21-7.
Monson's got 4.
Albright with it on the right, gets it out to Sikora at the top of the key. Back to Albright, back to Sikora. Over to the left side to Ensminger. Back to Sikora. To Jensen at the free throw line. Back out to Ensminger. Thought about the 3. Takes a step over to his left. Puts it up and in. 24. That was a 3-pointer, just barely, but it was a 3. Down the floor comes Eleva Strum. Marco with it, feeds it into the lane. Now they get it over to the right side. Shot goes up, no good. Shot was by Dietz. And down the floor come the Vikings. Sikora with a jump shot from 8 feet is good. 26-7. 7:18 to go. Eleva Strum with it, gets it into the forecourt, gets it to Monson, lays it up and in. Monson was all alone that time. They left him alone, and he went in. Down the floor come the Vikings. Sikora went to the hole, got fouled on his way up. He's going to go to the line.
Dominic Marco.
That's his first personal. 4th team foul. First shot is up and in by Sikora. We have several substitutions for the Vikings. $27-9. Second shot off the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by Dietz. And down the floor come the Cardinals. Gunderson with it, into the paint, feeds it out high, over to the right side. This is Sterry. Sterry along the baseline, gets it over to the left. From the high side, no good. Putback shot is also no good. Sterry with the putback. And the Vikings come down the floor. Sikora over to Hajdukovic. To the lane, shot is no good. Marco with it for Eleva Strum. Dunham with it, high, wide, and right. Feeds it over to Sterry on the right side. Over to Marco in the right corner. It's bottled up there, but gets it over to Sterry. Feeds it to Dietz, who lays it up and in.
Yeah, good play there for Eleva Strum.
27-11. Vikings feed it over to the right side, back out high. Then we have Hajdukovic with it. Cross-court pass to Medine. The shot is up, no good. Rebound saved in. And right to the hands of Austin Swanson, who lays it up and in. Cardinals have it. They get it across the timeline to Dietz. Feeds it over to the left side to Gunderson. And over to Dunham. Then out high to Marco. Over to Gunderson from the left corner. Shot is no good. Rebound taken down by Dietz. Dietz with a turnaround jumper in the lane. No good. Swanson with the rebound for the Vikings. To Hajdukovic. Takes it into the paint. Turns around. Puts it up and puts it home.
Nate's got 4.
Vikings up by 20, 31-11. Coming up on 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Gunderson with it on the left corner. Gets it out high to Dunham. To Sterry, to Dietz. From the left corner, Gunderson's shot is no good. Hajdukovic with it. And down the floor, he comes on the right side. Lob pass. Nice looking play, except that Sikora hit the bottom of the backboard instead of putting it in. Pass goes up, and it's blocked. And then we get a foul. Medine got the block. He's got a big grin on his face right now. And then he just about got cut in half by Sawyer Dietz.
Yeah, Medine's got to be the smallest one out there right now for Colfax.
He got up and got the block, and it was a heck of a block. And then as he chased down the block, Dietz came down on top of him, basically. So the Vikings have it. That's the first foul on Dietz, by the way. 5th team foul on Eleva Strum. Medine with it, feeds it to Lenz. Underneath, he lays it up, and it goes in.
Lenz with 6.
Cardinals have it. Lasher with it. Feeds it over to Bemis. Bemis on the left side. Gets it to Monson. Ball gets knocked away, and Charlo trying to save it in. Stepped on the line. Into the lineup for the Vikings is Ryan Albright. Or no, check that. Yes, Albright in for Sikora. Inbound pass. They get it back out to Monson. His shot is up, no good. Rebound by Albright. Gets it to Medine, and Medine got fouled as he was trying to dribble around Monson, and Monson's knee kind of got in the way.
Yeah, and that's his 3rd.
So he's going to go take a seat as Riley Sterry is in.
6th team foul for Eleva Strum.
So the Vikings will be in the bonus from this point on in the first half. Medine with it, gets it over to the left side to Hajdukovic. Back out high to Medine, quickly over to the right side to Albright. Albright takes it down to the right baseline. Gets it to Lenz, who loses the handle on it. Struggled for, we're going to get a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of Eleva Strum.
Good hustle by Tristan Lenz there.
Official making sure they're Isn't any water on the floor after those bodies went rolling around. Bemis with it for the Cardinals. Feeds it down the right side. They get it back to Bemis. Then to Dietz, who tries to go up with it, and he traveled.
Colfax defense stepping up again.
Albright with it, gets it right back to Medine, takes it across the timeline, feeds it over to the left side to Hajdukovic, back to Medine. Medine to Albright on the right, cross court, pass to Hajdukovic on the left, back to Albright on the right, takes it down to the right baseline, back out high to Medine. To Hajdukovic, three-pointer, no good. Charlo with the putback, no good, partially blocked. And the Cardinals come away with it, Bemis on the dribble. Across the timeline, feed it down low. That's Dietz. Back out high, and it's a two-pointer just inside.
For Bemis. He's got 4.
Vikings have it on the left baseline. Lenz with it, gets it over to Albright on the right baseline. Shot's no good. Hajdukovic chases the loose ball. Out to Medine, back to Hajdukovic. Drives the left baseline, stops, feeds it across to the right side to Albright. Three-pointer's no good. Lasher comes down with the rebound for the Cardinals. Bemis on the dribble, takes it around the right side, puts a shot up, no good. Rebound being tipped around. Charlo with it, feeds it down to Hajdukovic, who lays it up, puts it in. And we have a whistle.
An official timeout.
We had a Eleva Strum player crash into the wall a little extra hard. That was Steery. And he's going to go over to the sideline. They're going to bring a player in. Dunham's going to come in. Lasher to inbound. He gets it into Bemis. Back to Lasher in the backcourt. Gets it across the timeline. They put the trap on. Tries to feed it down, and the pass a little bit too hot to handle for Gunderson. It goes out of bounds. That trap paid off for the Vikings that time.
Yeah, their press and trap have been very good the last couple games.
Down the floor come the Vikings. They get it between the circles. Over to the right side. Jensen has it. Back out, and they're going to say Jensen walked with it before he got rid of it. It did look like a little bit of an awkward pass. 35-13, Vikings on top. Inbound pass almost stolen by Irwin. Bemis with it, and he lost the handle, and taken away by Ensminger. Got it over to Irwin, and
off of Irwin.
Yeah, it's out of bounds, and evidently Irwin was the last one to touch it. Lasher to inbound for the Cardinals. Gets it over to Gunderson, back to Lasher. Still in the backcourt, double teamed. Feeds it into the forecourt. They get it over to with a spinning move, Marco, and he got fouled on the way up. Check that, that wasn't Marco, that was Gunderson.
Fouls should be on Charlo.
And it is. That'll be the 6th foul on the Vikings. First foul on Charlo. So Gunderson at the line to shoot 2. First is on the way, no good. Minute 8 to go in the first half. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we have a Viking profile and a Colfax High School report. Second shot on the way, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Charlo gets the rebound to Irwin. Getting it down to Medine in the right corner, back out to Irwin. Back to Medine. Underneath to Jensen. Tries to feed it out, and the ball got taken away from him. Bemis with it, takes it down the floor, puts it up, no good. Rebound being fought for. Dietz comes away with it. puts his own shot back up and in. It doesn't go, but he got fouled by Jensen. And so Dietz will be at the line to shoot 2. That's the first foul on Jensen. It is the 7th on the Vikings. First shot is good. Just over 44 seconds remaining in the half. Marco checks in for the Cardinals. 35-14. Second shot on the way. Rattles in and out. Irwin with it.
Colfax can play for one.
Ensminger has it high, wide, and left. Back over to Irwin between the circles. Back over to Ensminger on the left side. 26 seconds to Irwin. Back to Ensminger. He's still high, wide, and left. Under 20. To Irwin. To Ensminger. Cross court pass over to Medine. Back to Irwin. Irwin takes it down to the elbow. Back to Ensminger. Thought about the 3. 8 seconds remaining.
You got to start making a move.
Irwin to Jensen. Lays it up. Puts it in. Nick Jensen with the 2. And it's halftime. Score. Vikings 37. The Eleva Strum Cardinals 14. We've got Viking halftime coming up right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Time now for Viking Halftime with this week's edition of Viking Profile and the Colfax High School Report. That's all coming up following this brief timeout.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're talking with Dustin Nigaman. And Dustin, you're a senior here at Colfax, correct?
Yep.
Now, we know you play basketball, but are there any other activities here at school that you've been involved in?
I do varsity bowling.
Okay, all right. I don't think we've had a varsity bowler get interviewed yet. That's a first. Okay, so when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience has that been?
I started in elementary school, and I played throughout middle school, but this is my first year playing in high school.
Okay, decided to finally come back and do it again, right?
Yeah.
So what's the most important thing that you have learned from playing basketball?
Just that communication is key, and you need to work with everybody.
Okay, so when you're not playing basketball, you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied, as if I didn't know?
I like to do a lot of hunting and fishing.
And you've been pretty successful at that.
Yeah, I have been.
Okay, a few rapid fire questions for you.
All right.
Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Ice cream.
Favorite flavor?
Chocolate.
All right, that's a good standby. Favorite color and why?
Green or camouflage.
You know, that almost does count as a color, doesn't it?
Yep.
Okay. If you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
Telekinesis, just because I feel like that'd be really cool.
Just because you like to say the name, telekinesis, that's a great word. Okay, now if you have a superpower like that, you're going to have a superhero name to go with it. So what's Dustin's superhero name?
Ooh, I don't know. The guy who moves things.
Okay.
Cool guy who moves things.
The cool guy who moves things. All right. Favorite NBA team?
I don't watch much basketball, but I might have to start doing that.
Okay. So you probably don't have a favorite college team then either?
No.
Okay. We're talking with Dustin Nigaman here on Viking Profile. And Dustin, what are your plans for after high school?
Continue schooling for something in the outdoors field, like agriculture or conservation.
Okay. And how about a shout out to your family?
I'd like to thank my mom, dad, and siblings for supporting my basketball.
Okay, super. When people watch Viking games, where are they going to find Dustin Nigaman on the floor?
Hopefully right on the court, carrying the ball, or on the bench.
Okay. We want to thank Dustin Nigaman for joining us today on Viking Profile. We have more Viking Halftime coming up right after this.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is him. Every day he's hungry for something. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that he's a good person. I think the advice I would give is you don't need to know all the answers. It's okay to make mistakes. As long as it's coming from love, then it kind of starts to work itself out.
Time now for the Colfax High School Report with an update about what's happening at Colfax High School.
The Colfax Vikings athletics were back into full swing in a big way last week. The only team with any time off was the Bloomer Colfax wrestling team following their competition during the holiday vacation at the Northern Badger Tournament. There were 6 basketball games played last week, with the boys and girls playing 3 games each. On Monday the 3rd, the girls traveled to Fall Creek, where they defeated the Fall Creek Crickets 58-43. The girls continued their week's action with Game 2 of a boy-girl doubleheader in Colfax on Thursday the 6th, where they defeated the Spring Valley Cardinals 77-34. The girls wrapped up the week on Saturday the 8th by defeating the Hayward Hurricanes 59-24. Those games leave the girls with an overall record of 12 wins and 1 loss, and a Dunn St. Croix Conference record of 5 wins and no losses. The Viking boys had mixed results last week. On Tuesday the 4th, the Vikings were defeated by the Turtle Lake Lakers 69-33. The boys followed that up with a win in Game 1 of that boy-girl doubleheader on Thursday over the Augusta Beavers by a score of 82-70. The boys wrapped up their week with a 58-42 win over the Boyceville Bulldogs on Friday. Those games leave the boys with an overall record of 4 wins and 5 losses, and a Dunn St. Croix Conference record of 2 wins and 2 losses. Now this week, the Viking basketball teams continue a very busy schedule with 5 games total. The Viking boys start the week by hosting the Eleva Strum Cardinals on Monday. Then on Thursday, they will take on the Spring Valley Cardinals. They will wrap up the week hosting the Somerset Spartans on Friday. We will have the Monday and Thursday games live on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. On Friday, we will bring you same-day coverage of the game with Somerset following the girls' game that's also scheduled for Friday. The Viking girls will be playing 2 games next week. They will begin their week with the much anticipated battle with the Elk Mound Mounders in Elk Mound. This will be a battle of 2 undefeated teams in the Dunn St. Croix Conference. They will follow that game by traveling to Plum City to take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves on Friday. We are carrying both games live on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. The Bloomer Colfax Wrestlers have 2 events this week. On Tuesday, the Grapplers will host the Stanley Boyd Orioles in a dual meet at Colfax High School. Then on Saturday, the Wrestlers will travel to Ladysmith to take part in the Ladysmith Invitational. Now, coming up next week, the Bloomer Colfax Wrestlers will take on the Cadott Hornets in a dual meet at Cadott High School. on Thursday the 20th. Then on Saturday the 22nd, the Grapplers will travel to Shell Lake for the Shell Lake Invite. The Viking boys basketball team will have 2 games next week. On Tuesday the 18th, they will host the Elk Mound Mounders, and on Friday the 21st, they will travel to Elmwood to take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. We'll have both of those games on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. The Viking girls are scheduled for 1 game next week. On Thursday the 20th, the girls will host the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. We will also carry that game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. In other school news, the Dorian Vocal Music Festival runs from Sunday through the 11th. The Viking dance team will have their conference competition at Eau Claire Memorial High School on Saturday, and that's what's happening at Colfax High School for the week of January 9th through the 15th.
You've been tuned to the Colfax High School Report with an update about what's happening at Colfax High School. Stay tuned. Coming up next is more Viking halftime and then second half action.
And we're back here at Colfax High School getting ready to start the second half of action. Vikings leading the Eleva Strum Cardinals 37-14. Dan, tell us how we got to those scores. You've got about 30 seconds to do it.
Yeah, here's the scores for Eleva Strum. They have Brady Munson with 6 and Nate Bemis and Sawyer Dietz with 4. For the Vikings, their leading scorer is Elijah Minger with 11. We have Tristan Lenz, Nate Hajdukovic with 6. We have Ryan Obrecht with 5. We have Bryce Sikora with 3. And Nick Jensen and Austin Swanson with 2.
And don't forget Jack Charlo in there too. He also has 2.
Oh yeah, Jack's got 2.
Vikings will inbound the ball to start the second half. And we're underway. Sikora over to Albright on the left side. Back to Sikora between the circles. Over to the right side to Ensminger. To the free throw line to Hajdukovic. Underneath the Charlo tries to go up, and he got hammered on that one. He's going to go to the line for 2. Got hammered by Dietz as he went up. It's his second foul on Dietz. First team foul on Eleva Strum in the second half. First shot is up and good by Charlo. Second shot is up and it's good. 39-14. Vikings on top. Bemis on the dribble for the Cardinals. Gets it over to Lasher. Lasher down underneath the Dietz, who lays it up and in. They forgot about Dietz down there.
Yeah, he's sitting there all alone.
Sikora with it. Hands it off to Ensminger. Got the ball knocked away from him, but he chased it down to Albright. To Hajdukovic. Back out to Ensminger. Penetrates into the lane. Feeds it to Charlo. Lays it up and in.
Charlo with a quick 4.
Cardinals bring it down the floor. On the left side, and the pass is errant. The Vikings come away with it. Ensminger on the left side. Lays it up, gets it blocked, but gets the shot back to Sikora on the right. He's high, wide, and right. Setting things up. Down to the right baseline, back out to Albright, then down underneath to Hajdukovic. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound taken down by Dietz. And down the floor comes Bemis for the Cardinals. Feeds it over to the left side, then down underneath to Dietz. Back out high to Steary. Shot goes up by Gunderson, no good. Rebound chased down by the Vikings. Hajdukovic handed it off to Sikora, and Sikora's pass to Hajdukovic, stolen by Dietz, lays it up. It's no good, but a blocking foul being called on Sikora.
His first.
So Nathan Bemis at the line for 2. First shot on the way. And it's no good. Checking into the lineup for the Cardinals is Brady Monson, as Lasher takes a seat. Second shot on the way, and it's good. 41-16, Vikings on top. Sikora with it across the timeline to Albright on the left, back to Sikora on the right. Back to Albright on the left. Feeds it to the free throw lane, and down to Charlo, and we have a blocking foul as Charlo went up, and that's a foul on Dietz.
Yeah, Dietz thought he had the block.
That's a third foul on Dietz. Nate Hajdukovic at the line. Shot goes up, it's good. Check that, that's Jack Charlo at the line. So the first shot is good. Second shot, no good. Rebound tipped around, and coming away with it is Munson. Feeds it over to Bemis. Bemis over to the left side to Gunderson. Down into the left corner, then into the paint. It's Monson turning, feeding it out to the right side to Bemis. Puts the shot up, no good. Rebound chased down by Lasher. He puts it up, it's no good. Rebound tipped around, and we're going to get a foul. As Dietz tried to go up, Hajdukovic kind of went over the top from behind and committed the foul.
That'll be Nate's third.
Both teams with 2 fouls on them. Dietz's first shot is good. 42-18. Second shot up. Rolls around, no good. Rebound chased down by Monson. He's got it over in the left corner, and his pass is intercepted by Charlo. Gets it to Sikora. His shot is blocked. Charlo comes away with it and puts it up and in.
Good job by Charlo to follow the shot.
And just stick with it. Three-pointer on the way by Gunderson, nothing but net.
Carter Gunderson.
44-21.
The bomb.
Here comes Charlo, reverse layup, it's up and in. Down the floor come the Cardinals. Long shot, and that's good by Gunderson.
Carter Gunderson getting hot.
46-24. Sikora with it, high, wide, and right. Takes it over toward the center circle. To Albright, who's high, wide, and right. Penetrates the lane, puts it up, and lays it in. 48-24. Bemis on the dribble between the circles, takes it to the free throw line, feeds it underneath the Dietz. His shot is no good. Rebound tipped out to Sikora, feeds it down to Elijah Ensminger, lays it up and in.
Ensminger's got 13.
Bemis with it. Feeds it over to Munson, over into the left corner to Gunderson. And Gunderson has gotten hot from three-point range.
That's triples in a row.
Three.
But nobody picks up Sikora.
And Sikora takes it right down into the hole. 52-27, timeout on the floor. 13:48 to go. Vikings on top. And you're tuned to Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN TV, and Viking TV.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining? Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Dr. Bruce Buckley and his staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petschow. Jeff Gust on the camera. Eleva Strum with the ball. Vikings with the lead, 52-27. Bemis Feeds it over to the right side, back out to Bemis at the right elbow. They get it underneath to Monson, who puts it up, no good. Rebound tipped around. Vikings come away with it. Long pass to Ensminger. He's on a solo flight, and he puts it in.
Ensminger's got 15.
Bemis quickly across the timeline. Over to the left side to Gunderson. Gunderson feeds it over to Olsen on the right. Down to the baseline to Bemis. On the right side, feeds it into the lane to Munson, who lays it up and in. Down the floor, Ensminger, he lays it up and in. Elijah Ensminger with the hot hand. Bemis feeds it over to Gunderson. They get it underneath to Munson, who gets it out to Bemis. Bemis' shot is up and in. And we have a whistle and a timeout being called by Eleva Strum. 56-31, Vikings on top, 12:50 to go in the game, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN TV, and Viking TV.
When it comes to your finances, security is just so important. Dairy State Bank's online banking and mobile app offers dozens of new and enhanced real-time alerts. Whether an ATM withdrawal is made or a login to your account failed, you'll instantly know. So now, the technology that makes it easier to manage your money is also making it safer. Visit dairystatebank.com or call to learn more. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Dairy State Bank. Simplify your life. Pleasant Valley Properties provides affordable housing and homes in communities in Wisconsin, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska. They have staff available to help you locate the home that best meets your needs and desires, as well as service staff that maintains the properties. Contact Pleasant Valley Properties at 715-226-6200. Call today and let them help you get into the home of your dreams. That's Pleasant Valley Properties, 301 Bremer Avenue in Colfax.
Vikings on top, 56-31 over the Eleva Strum Cardinals. 12:50 to go. Vikings have the ball, and Nate Hajdukovic brings it across the timeline. Feeds it over to Albright, high, wide, and left. Takes it down to the left wing. Cuts out to the top of the key. Now down the right side of the line. Tries to feed it into the paint to Jensen and kind of misconnected on the pass. Cardinals have it. Pass gets tipped by Hajdukovic. It goes out of bounds. It'll be Cardinals' ball. Nick Olsen to inbound. He gets it into Dunham. Back to Olsen. Feed into Monson. Ball gets taken away by Irwin. Feeds to Hajdukovic. Lays it up and puts it in.
Nate with 8.
Down the floor come the Cardinals. Feed over into the right corner. Lasher with a 3, no good. Hajdukovic with the rebound, and down the floor come the Vikings. Hajdukovic dribbling between the circles. Gets it over to the right side to Albright. Stops at the free throw line. Feeds to Jensen underneath. Lays it up, no good. Lenz with the rebound, puts it up, no good. Gets his own put back up and in. Tristan Lenz.
Lenz having a good night.
That's 8 points for Lenz tonight. Down the floor come the Cardinals. Lasher has it down on the right baseline. Turn around, he's double teamed right there. Feeds it underneath to Munson. His shot is no good. Put back is no good. He gets another chance, no good. It's out of bounds. And it was blocked out of bounds by the Vikings. So it'll be Lasher to inbound it. Lasher feeds it into Olsen. Then out high to Monson. Over to Olsen, high, wide, and right. Then they get it to Monson at the free throw line. Over to Gunderson on the left. Back to Monson in the paint. His shot, no good. Rebound by Jensen. Long pass intended for Hajdukovic. Got tipped away by Olsen, and down the floor they come. He's got it on the left side. Out to Gunderson, three-pointer, high off the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by Monson. Tries to pass it out. It got right into the hands of Hajdukovic, and he brings it down the floor for the Vikings. Nate Hajdukovic with it. Stops in the paint, puts it up and in.
Little razzle-dazzle there by Nate Hajdukovic.
62-31. Eleva Strum with it. Munson with it. Gets it over to Gunderson. Three-pointer. He hit it again. He does like that left corner. He's been nailing them from there.
Yeah, he's 4 for 5 from three-point land.
Yeah, his 12 points are all from three-point land. Albright for three, and he answers with a three-pointer. Ryan Albright goes, so you think you can shoot from three? Watch this. Olsen has it, feeds it into the lane to Dunham, puts the shot up, no good. Tip back up and in by Munson. Vikings bring it down the floor. Irwin gets it over to Hajdukovic. To Lenz, drives the right side, feeds it over to Jensen, and lays it up off the glass and in.
Yeah, pretty play by Tristan Lenz there.
Dunham on the dribble. He's between the circles, takes it over to the left side, feeds it to in the lane. We're going to get a whistle and a foul, no basket. Foul's on the floor. And the foul's on Irwin. That's the third foul on the Vikings. Second foul on Irwin. Albright and Jensen come out. Swanson is in, along with Mitch Medine. Ball comes into Dietz. Over to the right side to Gunderson. Three-pointer off the iron, no good. Yeah, it wasn't from the left corner. That was from the right corner. He should have been shooting from the left corner. He'd have made it. Medine with it. Gets it over to the left side. This is Irwin with it. High, wide, and left. Gets it to Medine between the circles. Back over to Irwin. On the left. He's on the left wing. Three-pointer on the way. I guess he was on the line, so it's only two, but we'll take it.
Irwin.
69-36. Bemis feeds it in the lane to Dietz.
Let's see if they get Nate Hajdukovic. They do.
That's the fourth foul on Hajdukovic. Swanson thought they were calling it on him. Dietz's first shot is in and out, no good. Second shot by Dietz. That one's good. 69-37. Medine on the dribble for the Vikings. Feeds it over to the right side to Hajdukovic. Back to Medine. Over to Irwin on the left. Back to Medine on between the circles. To Irwin to Medine. To Hajdukovic on the right. Back out high to Medine. To Irwin on the left. Back to Medine. Back to Irwin.
Colfax being patient.
Yeah, they're being very willing to take their time. Medine takes it over to the right side, feeds it over to Irwin on the left. To Hajdukovic from the left side, no good. Rebound chased down by Monson, and they get it to Bemis. Coming up across the timeline, feeds it over to the left side to Gunderson from the left corner, and he hit it.
That's a pretty shot.
It is, and it's like money for him. He's hit 5 of those. Irwin feeds it into the lane to Lenz. Puts the shot up off the iron, no good. Swanson lays it up and in. 71-40.
Yeah, the big boys for Colfax working hard on the boards.
Munson with nothing but netter from the middle of the paint. 71-42. Irwin with it. Dribbles between the circles over to the right side to Medine, to Lenz. He's on the right wing. Cross court pass over to Irwin. Takes it out high. He's double teamed. Ball gets stripped away. Down the floor comes Gunderson into the lane. We're going to get a foul called on Irwin.
Is it or is it? Hajdukovic. Oh.
That's the 5th foul on the Vikings. It's the 3rd foul on Irwin. Pass comes into Dietz. Feeds into the lane to Monson. Kicks it out to Bemis. 3-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound taken down by Lenz. He gets it out to Irwin. Cross-court pass over to Medine on the right side. Tries to feed it into the paint to Swanson, but it got batted away. And down the floor comes Eleva Strum, but the pass gets stolen by Medine, who lays it up and in. Mitch Medine with the layup.
Medine with his first 2 points.
(73-42), 6:06 to go. Munson with it. Pass gets stolen by Medine. Medine between the circles, feeds it over to the left side to Irwin. Down low to Lenz. Back out high to Irwin. Irwin takes it into the lane, feeds it over to the right side to Hajdukovic. Nothing but net on that 3-pointer. Nate Hajdukovic. 15 points for him tonight. 76-42. And the pass got batted by Hajdukovic's foot. So it'll be out of bounds to the Cardinals. Dunham to inbound. Gets it into Marco. But the pass gets knocked out of bounds by Medine. And the pass gets stolen this time by Medine. Feeds it over to Irwin. Irwin into the paint, puts up a shot. It got blocked, but he got the ball back.
And double dribble.
And they're going to get him with a double dribble.
Wasn't much, but he kind of hesitated with the ball in his stomach for a second.
So Cardinals to have it. Down the floor they come. Shot by Dietz is no good. Rebound being fought for underneath. Medine comes away with it. Feeds it over to Johnson. Johnson tried to get it to Lenz, whose foot was on the baseline. Into the lineup is Mason Yarrington and Colton Hoffman for the Vikings. Lasher with it, gets it over to the left side to Gunderson. Back out high to Olsen, to Gunderson. To Lasher, to Gunderson, 3-pointer on the way, no good. He was not in the left corner again. Medine feeds it over to Yarrington from the left side. 3-pointer, no good. Rebound chased down and tipped out of bounds by the Cardinals. Monson touched it last, so it'll be Viking ball. Right in front of the Viking bench. Johnson to inbound it. Out to Yarrington. Over to Medine. To Johnson, feeds it to Lenz, takes it into the paint, puts it up, no good, gets his own rebound back and puts it up and in. Tristan Lenz, should be 10. It is. Lasher with it for the Cardinals, takes it around the left side, puts a shot up, it's no good. It was last touch, it was partially blocked out of bounds by Lenz as he went up. So it'll be Eleva Strum ball. Bemis to inbound. 78-42, under 4 minutes to go. Pass comes in and we get a foul. That's a foul on Colton Hoffman. His first, 6th team foul on the Vikings. Spring Valley going to the bonus after these shots.
Eleva Strum.
First one's good.
Eleva Strum, you mean?
Yeah, what did I say? Did I say Spring Valley again?
Yeah, you've been saying it all night.
Dietz with his second shot. At least I get the right players. 78-44. Vikings leading Eleva Strum.
Swanson in. Lenz out. Lenz gets a nice hand.
Vikings come down the floor. Medina on the dribble. Gets it across the timeline. Feeds it over to Yarrington. Back to Medine. To Johnson on the right. To Hoffman. Tries a jump pass, and the ball got stolen. Bemis with it, and he got fouled on the way up.
Looks like
Medine's going to be, yeah, it's going to be on Mitch Medine. It's his first personal. Going to put Dietz at the line, shooting 2. First shot is up, no good. Bemis with 7 points on the night. 5'8" junior, make that 8 points on the night. And Medine brings the ball down across the timeline. Feeds it over to Johnson. Cross-court pass over to Yarrington. To Hoffman. To Johnson. To Swanson underneath. It's loose out in the lane. Hoffman picks it up. Takes it into the paint. Jump shot is up, no good. Rebound being fought for. And down come the Cardinals with it. They feed it over to Monson. Then over to Olsen on the left side. Down to the left baseline to Lasher. Back out to Olsen on the left corner. To Monson in the paint. Puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Lasher. Puts the shot up, no good. Olsen with it, takes it into the paint. Kicks it out to Monson on the right side. To Lasher on the left side on the baseline. Out to Bemis. Jumper's no good. Rebound taken down by Monson. And falling and rolling off his back is Hoffman.
Colton Hoffman with a second foul.
That's the 8th team foul. So he's Monson for the 1-and-1. Shot is up, no good. Rebound tapped. It goes out of bounds.
Ooh.
They're going to say Colfax ball. All 3 of us up here are saying, we got to break that time. Down the floor comes Medine over to Yarrington. Back to Medine. To Johnson. Cross court pass over to the left side to Yarrington. He tries to feed it into the paint, and Eleva Strum is there to bat it away. 2:15 to go. 78-45. Inbound pass to Hoffman. Over to Medine. To Yarrington on the left. To Hoffman in the paint. Turns. Squares up. Pass gets batted. Picked up by Johnson. He tries to feed it across the court, but right off the back of a Cardinal. They take it down to Gunderson, who lays it up. He misses the layup. Turnaround jumper by Bemis. It goes in. Medine feeds it over to Yarrington. 3-pointer on the way. No good. Rebound went off of Olsen, they're saying. And he can't believe that. So it'll be Viking ball. High pass. Comes into Medine. Takes it to the center circle. Over to the right side to Johnson. Cross-court pass over to Yarrington. Tries to feed it into the lane to Swanson. But he was being fronted very nicely by Monson, who got his hand on the ball, knocked it out of bounds.
Yeah, Yarrington thought he was going to get away with that.
Shot goes up, no good. Swanson with it, and he lost control as it came down. So it'll be Eleva Strum ball. Down the floor they come. Bemis gets it over to Gunderson, high, wide, and right. He's working the right side. Feeds it to Lasher, right side of the lane. Gets it to Monson. Over to the left side. Lasher on the left baseline. Puts it up, and it goes in. 78-49. Vikings on top. Medine with it. Feeds it underneath to Swanson, who lays it up, and it goes in. Should be 6 points for Swanson tonight. Bemis on the dribble, takes it over to the left side. Stops at the free throw line, puts it up, no good. Rebound by Swanson. Ball got tipped out of bounds off of Eleva Strum. It'll be Viking ball. Pass comes into Johnson. They feed it over and underneath to Swanson. Over to Hoffman. Turns around, tries to go up, partially blocked. Goes out of bounds because it came out of Hoffman's hands. So it'll be Eleva Strum ball. As they come down the floor, Gunderson with it on the left side. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Bemis with the rebound. Tries to feed it out to Gunderson. Ball gets stolen by Medine, but then stolen right back by Bemis. And there's your final score. Vikings 80. The Eleva Strum Cardinals 49. We're going to have Viking postgame coming up right after this timeout. You've been tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN TV, and Viking TV.
When you've checked that hayfield and find it's time to harvest, give a call to Aaron's Custom Baling. Aaron will provide you with 4x5 net-wrapped round bales. He can even give your bales that spruced up look with select custom netting if you'd like. Serving Western Wisconsin, that's Aaron's Custom Baling. Call 715-202-0118.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. Alright, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for Colfax Viking Boys Basketball. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Post Game, where we'll take a look back at today's Viking game.
Time now for Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Boys game. And now, Viking Postgame.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow. And looks like Coach Noel is going to come over and see us later, I guess.
Yeah.
Because he's going to go talk to the radio folks. And that's all right. they have a more limited schedule than we have. I'll tell you what, the Vikings played some pretty good ball tonight, winning by a score of 80-49. Got a lot of kids, a lot of playing time. 3-game winning streak, Dan.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive tonight by Colfax. They got out early, got some good transition basketball down the court, hit their shots. Just an all-team effort tonight.
It really was. They showed one of their real aces that we haven't seen a whole lot of this year, and that's their speed. Guys like Elijah Ensminger flying down the floor the way he was. Ryan Albright as well. Bryce Sikora. Those guys just flew down the floor, and the Vikings were able to take advantage of that. They don't even have to get a really clean rebound. They just have to tip it to those guys as they're heading down the floor, which gives your rebounders a big advantage as well.
Yeah, Eleva Strum looked a little shell-shocked there when the transition ball was going for Colfax. Yeah, Ensminger just bolting down the court, get a lob pass and layup, and seemed like they executed on that pretty good.
And so, yeah, I think also they got a little shell-shocked when all of a sudden it was 8-0, and the Vikings, who, to be honest with you, have been struggling this year, and there have been a number of games where they haven't looked really good, and I'm sure that Eleva Strum came in here thinking this is one we can win, and the Vikings kind of made that clear to them right away that they weren't just going to roll over and lay down for them, and they were going to do everything they could, and the Vikings did.
Yeah, getting some of the other players in, like Austin Swanson, Mitch Medine, that'll be important down in towards the end of the season.
When tournament play comes rolling around, you're going to need those guys to come in and not have the drop-off that you normally have when you start digging that deep into your bench. And, boy, I'm looking at some of the Viking players down on the floor right now, and I see an awful lot of smiles. And
yeah, they found a groove right now, and they're starting to believe in Coach Noel's system. This is his second year, and they understand what he wants, and it's coming together.
And speaking of coming together, here he is coming together with us. We have Coach Noel here, and Coach, congratulations. 3-game winning streak.
Watch out. They're going to call the fire trucks and put some water on.
You are hot. Especially, I'll tell you what, Elijah Ensminger streaking down the floor and laying it in off of just a long lob pass. We were just talking about that. Your boys like to run.
Yeah, they like to get out and run, and when you give them that freedom to do that, they excel at it.
And they sure showed it tonight. Hey, you've evened up the season record at 5-5.
Yep.
And there was a time this year it was looking a little tough, and like that might not be something that was going to be in the offing, but these guys didn't quit, and they've pulled it together, and 3 wins in a row. All of a sudden, they're now 5-5.
Yeah, we're super happy about that. I mean, getting our record back to 500. And what we're really focusing on in these 3 games here is, number 1, just playing really good defense. And number 2 is trying to come out fast. Not being on our heels. Let's put the other team on their heels right away.
And that's something you did tonight that was a whole lot different than the last couple of games where you're battling double-digit deficits in the first half and have to gain the lead right at halftime, and then in the second half you kind of take charge. This game, from the opening tip-off, you won the opening tip, and then you took charge, and all of a sudden it's 8-0, and holy cow, here we go.
Yeah, it's been, and obviously I know I've said it before, but it's nice having Nate back because we're 3-1 with him back because he helps complete us in what we're trying to do out there on the court with our defense and stuff like that. He just helps that because now we're quicker. We're quicker than what we were before.
And boy, can you see that.
Yeah.
And the passes seem to be crisper as well.
Yep. That happens when the ball goes through the rim, then all of a sudden they get lots of confidence.
There you go. And they're going to need every bit of that because it doesn't get any easier the rest of this week.
No.
You have the Spring Valley Cardinals. Evidently, halfway or most of the way through the game tonight, I kept saying Spring Valley instead of Eleva Strum Cardinals tonight. So maybe we'll get the same result because I was doing that.
Oh, there you go.
If that's what happens, I'll take credit.
Yeah. Well, Spring Valley is obviously a team that it's always a measuring stick for the conference. Anybody that done St. Croix, Bossart's one of the best coaches in the conference, longtime coach. You know, they're a team that's not going to beat themselves. So it's a team that you really got to be on top of your game when you play a Spring Valley team.
And although it's a non-conference game, on Friday you've got Somerset, and they're no slouch.
No, and they're obviously a way bigger school than Colfax is. We have nothing to lose in that game. It's just a great non-conference opponent for us to kind of learn more about ourselves. And hey, maybe we can get one there too. You never know. But our focus right now is Spring Valley.
Well, congratulations tonight. You're 5-5 overall, 3-2 in the conference, I think.
2-2.
2-2 in the conference. All right. Well, I'm
We'll
getting
take
ahead
it,
of
though.
myself.
We'll take it. Thank you, guys. Appreciate
80-49. Congratulations, Coach. And
Appreciate
we will
it.
see you on Thursday.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Love what
All
you
right.
guys do.
And we'll have more Viking postgame right after this time out.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV by calling 715-563-1749.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson and Dan Petchow. And Dan, it was 80-49 Vikings over the Eleva Strum Cardinals. And why don't you tell us how we got that way?
Yeah, here's the scores for Eleva Strum tonight. They're led by two guys, Sawyer Dietz and Nate Bemis with 10 points. Oh, I forgot the most important, or number 32, Brady Munson. He had 12. I'm way off tonight, Rick. And we had, actually, number 10, Carter Gunderson. He went 5 for 6 from the three-point line, and he had 15. And then we had Caden Lasher with 2. For the Colfax Vikings, they were deep tonight in their bench, so it'll take me a little bit here. We had... Leading was number 10, Elijah Ensminger with 17. We had Nate Hajdukovic with 15. We had Jack Charlotte with 11. We had Tristan Lenz with 10. We had Austin Swanson with 6. And then we had Bryce Sikora with 5. Then we had Kyle Irwin, Mitch Medine, and Nick Jensen. Oh, Nick Jensen had 4 tonight. So, yep. All that comes out to 80-49.
Okay. And so the Vikings get the trifecta, their third win in a row. And I guess if we were bowlers, we'd say they rolled a turkey. But
right.
I don't think we want to go there. So
not in my bowling game.
Anyway, coming up on Thursday, we've got a big one for the Viking boys with that game against Spring Valley right here at Colfax High School. In fact, I want to remind you to join us here on NLWN TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network, as well as Viking TV. That's on Thursday, as the Viking boys are going to take on the Spring Valley Cardinals. That's a Dun St. Croix Conference game. Live coverage begins with Viking pregame, starting at 6:55, and that'll be followed by all the live play-by-play action. And that's Viking boys basketball Thursday night on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. But hey, don't go anywhere, because tomorrow night we have the Viking girls going over to Elk Mound to take on the Elk Mound Mounders in what is basically the battle for first place in the Dun St. Croix Conference. Both teams are undefeated in conference play, and live coverage of that is going to begin with Viking pregame starting at 6:55, and that'll be followed by all the live play-by-play action That's Viking girls basketball tomorrow night on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. Also tomorrow night, the Bloomer Colfax wrestling team will be in action when they host the Stanley Boyd Orioles in a dual meet right here at Colfax High School. We aren't covering that, but you can sure come and cheer on the wrestlers and bring your phone with you and watch the basketball game at the same time. And from what I understand, they're also going to have it playing out in the lobby here. So if there's some forfeits and stuff that you're waiting for matches to take care of that you're not following, just step out in the lobby for a few minutes, watch some of the basketball game.
Yeah, they got a nice big screen out there.
They do. And, I want to remind you also that we do have something special coming up Friday of this week. We have a doubleheader coming up, but it's a little unusual. The boys and the girls are playing in different locations. So the boys are at home against Somerset. The girls are over in Plum City taking on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. That Elmwood Plum City Wolves game we will carry live on NLWN TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network. And then the home game with the boys against Somerset, we will carry that after the girls' game finishes. We're looking for a start time of that one sometime around 9:30 or something like that.
We'll play
as they're
9:30.
dimming the lights on us up here.
This is
I think
the
they're
first
giving us
time ever.
a hint that we're supposed to be getting out of here. So this reminder that tonight's Colfax High School basketball game is brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital, Dairy State Bank, Anderson Bridges, Slayton's Technology, Pleasant Valley Properties, Aaron's Custom Baling, FitFam Nutrition of Colfax, and Kyle's Buff and Shine. Make sure you thank these fine sponsors of Colfax High School basketball. So for Dan Petschow and Jeff Gust on the camera, this is Rick Olson. And the final score, once again, Vikings 80 and the Eleva Strum Cardinals 49. You've been tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking boys game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.